For King Henry! For England! And for St. George!
To weave the full tapestry of the House of York's rise and fall, we must delve into the rich soil of England's history, where every stone tells a story of ambition, rivalry, and the unquenchable thirst for power. Imagine the rolling hills of England, not as the peaceful pastures we know today, but as a chessboard of power, with nobles and kings as the pawns and knights. The story of the House of York is a saga that begins with the ambitious Richard, Duke of York, who planted the seeds of his family's ascension amidst the fertile chaos of a kingdom in disarray. He was a man who saw not what was, but what could be, should the crown of England rest upon his brow. In the shadows of the throne, the Duke of York maneuvered with the finesse of a seasoned statesman, gathering support, forging alliances, and weaving his claim into the very fabric of the realm's nobility. He was the spider at the center of a web of intrigue, spinning his influence across England, ever ready to claim what he saw as rightfully his. The opening act of the Yorkist dynasty was as dramatic as any play penned by Shakespeare. Edward IV, the tall and charismatic son of Richard, seized the throne with the vigor of youth and the promise of a new dawn for England. His reign was a golden age for the House of York, marked by an outpouring of culture, commerce, and the consolidation of power that seemed unshakable. But beneath the golden veneer lay the roots of discord. Edward's own brother, George, Duke of Clarence, became ensnared in a web of treachery against him, a betrayal that would lead to George's mysterious death in the Tower, rumored to have been executed by drowning in a barrel of Malmsey wine. Such was the price of betrayal within this royal house. Transitioning from the opulence of Edward's court to the brooding reign of Richard III, we find a tale that is both tragic and cautionary. Richard, known to many solely through the villainous caricature of later tales, was a complex figure, a king whose ambition was matched only by his enigmatic nature. His rise to the throne was marked by controversy and blood, his rule overshadowed by the presumed murder of his young nephews, an act that would stain his legacy for centuries. The echoes of the young prince's laughter faded into silence within the walls of the Tower of London, leaving behind a mystery that haunts the annals of history to this day. Their disappearance cast a long shadow over Richard's reign, turning hearts against him and setting the stage for the final act of the House of York's dominance. On the morning of August 22nd, 1485, the fate of the Yorkist line hung in the balance at the Battle of Bosworth Field. Here, under a sky marred by the storm of battle, Richard III met Henry Tudor in a clash that was less a battle of swords than a battle of destinies. Richard, fighting with the ferocity of a cornered lion, fell not to an enemy's blade, but to the turning of fortune's wheel, his defeat marking the end of the Yorkist era and the birth of the Tudor dynasty. The aftermath of Bosworth saw the victor, Henry VII, take Elizabeth of York, Edward IV's daughter, as his bride, weaving the white rose of York with the red of Lancaster, creating the Tudor rose, a symbol of unity and the end of civil strife. Yet, even as the new dynasty took root, the specter of the old remained, as the Tudor line would forever be haunted by the ghost of the white rose. The legacy of the House of York, though marred by the tragedies that befell it, is not solely one of downfall. The Yorkist kings, in their time, nurtured a realm that was the envy of Christendom, a beacon of chivalry and courtly love, a stage for poets and scholars. It was under their rule that the medieval world began to turn its eyes toward the Renaissance that would follow. The fall of the House of York is thus a canvas of both light and shadow. It was a family that held the throne through some of England's most turbulent times, providing a lens through which we may view the complexities of human ambition and the intricate dance of power. Theirs is a story that reminds us that the annals of history are written by more than just the victors. They are written by the aspirations and dreams of all who dare to reach for the crown. In closing this chapter of history, we reflect on the House of York as a mirror of our own ambitions, a lesson that the pursuit of power is fraught with peril, and that the heights of glory are often but a prelude to the fall. Their story, etched into the stone of castles and whispered through the halls of time, continues to captivate us, a tale as timeless as the very notion of monarchy itself. And so, as the sun sets on the white rose of York, we are left with the enduring legacy of a house that rose with the promise of dawn, blazed like the midday sun, and set into the twilight of history, leaving behind a story that will be told for generations to come.